Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday morning edition of the Sporting Blizzard. Well, I'm going to be giving you my picks against the spread and who I overall think will win the games this Sunday. And before we start, we got some developing news. At the time I'm doing this, at the time I'm recording this, this has not been confirmed yet. 4 Jacksonville Jaguar players were reportedly detained by police for 9 hours over in London after refusing to pay a bill at a club. I don't know who those players are. All I did see right before I started doing this up was 4 players from the Jaguars were reportedly detained for 9 hours, and we're yet to get confirmed on those players' names and if it actually happened. It was reported by The Sun in London, so time to tell if those rumors are true. But we're going to, of course, pick the Jaguars and Eagles game, and I overall like the Jaguars to win this game. London Blake Bortles is completely different from American Blake Bortles. I don't get it. He will win the Jaguars this game, and then it's going to be this whole confusion of, what is Blake Bortles? What is he? Is he a quarterback? Yes. Is he a franchise quarterback? I don't think so. Can he win football games? I think so. It's just London Blake Bortles always brings up all these different things like, is he really this good or is it meh? We'll find out. But I overall do like the Jaguars to win this game. I feel like it's going to be a bit more defensive matchup. Both defenses, I think, are going to be looking to make a statement after the last week's games for both teams. And you got to feel like the Eagles kind of had a harder loss last week, and I feel like that's going to be tough to rebound from. That's why I'm picking the Jaguars. Bears versus the Jets in Chicago. Now, that 7-point spread for the Bears, it's kind of easy to take. And the reason why I'm going to take this is I saw Robbie Anderson and Quincy Enunwa have both been ruled out. Sam Darnold's down his top 2 receivers. And you're going to put a rookie quarterback in a hostile environment in Chicago against one of the best defenses in the league, against one of the best pass rushes in the league with a mediocre O-line. I'm taking the Bears, and I expect them to cover easily. And now it's Denver Broncos versus Chiefs. Now, Bleacher Report is saying, take the Broncos in this matchup. I'm not. Denver is a completely different team from home compared to away. They blew out the Cardinals last week, but that's the Cardinals. It's completely different when you look at the Chiefs, and I feel like the Chiefs are a million times better than the Cardinals right now. And it's mostly because Andy Reid's going to call plays to make sure Patrick Mahomes looks good. He is the king of misdirection for a reason. And overall, the Chiefs, they're starting to put together a defensive end. Denver does not have a good offense. Case Keenum is not a franchise quarterback. I questioned the decision when they signed him. I thought it was a bad move. It looks like I'll be correct. But Denver kind of has to stick with it now after Chad Kelly being cut from walking into a stranger's house and getting beaten up by a vacuum cleaner. That's got to be the weirdest ways I've ever seen anyone get cut in the NFL. Literally, a vacuum might have scared him off from the NFL. He is a dog. 100% sure about that one now. But anyways, Chiefs, I expect to win by at least 15 points. I'm taking the Chiefs in that one. Browns at Steelers. Now, of course, the tragedy that happened in Pittsburgh on Saturday morning. Beforehand, I was going to take the Steelers to win the game, but the Browns come in under that 8-point spread. With this tragedy, I feel like the city of Pittsburgh is going to kind of come out and want to make a statement, and it's just going to be an emotional game. And we all know how this goes in sports. Usually when a city's fully behind you that day, it just goes crazy. Vegas Golden Knights last year, for example. Florida Panthers for a stretch after the shootings in Florida. The emotions will be at all-time high, and before I say anything else, thoughts and prayers to the family out there. Best of luck getting back to how it was. Anyways, I take the Steelers, and I pick them to cover after the events that happened. I'm trying to do a 180 here. Ravens at Panthers. Now, this is hard, because these are both 2 good teams. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a fun game if you like traditional smash mouth football. And it's going to be hard to win it. I'm going to take the home team, and I'm going to take the plus 2 points. I get plus 2 with the Panthers at home. I'm taking that. Ravens offense, not world beaters, but their defense is. Panthers have got Cam Newton. Cam Newton's a better athlete than Flacco. He's got a better deep arm than Flacco. Although, don't get me wrong, Flacco can just throw it deep and get some good 50-50 balls. But overall, it's who do you trust more? I trust Cam Newton's coaching staff around him on the offensive side more than I trust Joe Flacco's offensive staff. If we go to defensive staff, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Ravens. But the reason why I'm taking the Panthers to win against the spread, win with the spread, my bad, and just win outright, it's because I feel like playing at home is a different environment than playing on the road. If this was in Baltimore, there's no way I'm not picking the Ravens. But the Panthers, they've been competitive. They have just dragged out with some teams. That last week game against the Eagles was fun. It was competitive. It was hard-hitting. And it kind of installed this theme, the Panthers, that we can come back from this and we can win. I expect them to come out the same fire they did and put some points up early and just kind of play with the lead for the rest of the game. Now, Bucks at Bengals. See, I don't know what to think of this matchup. The Bengals always freeze when they're on primetime games or against the Steelers. Andy Dalton always freezes. This is 1 p.m. game nobody really has watching unless you're a Bucks or Bengals fan, or unless you have some fantasy football implications. I think you take the Bengals with the 4.5 points because the Bucks don't have a good defense, and I feel like Andy Dalton can put some points up against a bad defense. The keys to the matchup, I would say, would be get the ball to A.J. Green. Just get to him. Get the ball to Green. Third downs, if you need to, throw it to Tyler Boyd, but if not, throw it to A.J. Green and run Joe Mixon. Seattle at Detroit. Detroit making a great trade, in my opinion. Adding Snacks Harrison. Big boy Snacks. That dude's a great rush stuffer. And it's what the Lions need. Now, both these teams I have been liking throughout the year. I felt they've been under the radar. And I was kind of on the Seahawks before anyone else. I want to stick with that. And I will with the spread. I like 3 points on the road. These teams are too evenly matched up. I got to take that 3 points. But I'm picking the Lions to win by 2 points. 2 to 1 points. Even 3 I can take. But these teams are so evenly matched, I can see that 3 points being fine for me to be willing to swallow. Redskins at Giants. How? How are the Giants favored by 1? How? No line. Have you seen the Redskins' defensive line? This game will be over quick. It's not going to be pretty. Eli Manning's going to be hit hard. Saquon Barkley's going to be balled up. Odell is going to be shut down. This game is going to be dominated by the Washington Redskins. And if I had to take a lock for the week, the Redskins would be my lock. They would be my survivor pick this week. Colts at Raiders. Now see, I like taking points when I'm at home. I like that. But I don't like the Raiders. I like the Colts to put up some points. And let's not put this out of the equation. Colts, if they win, Jaguars lose, they're not in the basement of the AFC South. They won't be that far off from the Titans, who they can probably beat. And the Texans barely beat them in overtime. The Colts are not far out of this AFC South, and I feel like they know that, and I expect the Colts to come out and win by double digits against the Raiders. Against a team that's struggling to rush the passer, against a team that kind of has some questions on it now on the receiving core, a team that's got a young left tackle that's still not playing that great, and no Marshawn Lynch. So your running backs are going to be Jalen Richard and Dwayne Washington. I don't like that. Colts are also getting Marlon Mack back. Nigel Hines has been decent. I'm taking the Colts. Green Bay Packers at Rams. Now see, this is too tempting. This is too tempting. And I'm picking the Rams to win, but you give me 9 points to Aaron Rodgers. I gotta take it. I'm not high on the Packers this year, but I get Aaron Rodgers with 9 points. All I gotta do is make sure Rodgers gets like 5 touchdowns to keep pace with this Rams offense. I think that's doable. I think that's really doable, especially with the fact that the Rams secondary isn't all that great, let alone the rush defense has been lacking recently. This might be the game to get Aaron Jones started. But yeah, I'll take the Packers with the 9 points, but Rams to win outright. Cardinals and Niners. I just have to pick the winner of this game. I picked it correctly last time, but I have my doubts this time. I'm going to go with the Niners and Kyle Shanahan. Not because of C.J. Beathard. Not because I question the Cardinals this much, well, which I do, but I'm just going to pick the coach I had the most faith in, and I think is the better coach, and I feel like that's Kyle Shanahan. In this game, it should be fun. Glad this is Sunday night. Saints at Vikings. This is a rematch from the playoffs last year. This should be a great game. The Saints are my Super Bowl pick from the NFC. They are still my Super Bowl pick. This is hard to not take. I mean, Minnesota, Everson Griffin did return the team, but I don't know if he's going to be a part of full team facility. I don't know if he's going to be involved as much. Well, the Saints, I get Drew Brees. Vikings, I have Kirk Cousins, but Saints, I can take Drew Brees. I also have Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. I mean, this game will be good. And it's going to be one possession. That 1 point is very correct, I will definitely say. I'm going to take the Saints with some lack of confidence because I do think this game will be close. I think it will be down the wire. But I'm taking the Saints in both categories. And then Monday night. Oh boy. You know, if I were the Bills, I'd make the decision to shut Josh Allen down for the year. I would make that my number one priority. Because I do not want him getting killed behind this offensive line and create another Blaine Gabbert. I think Buffalo has got a decent chance of coming in under the spread with 13.5 against any other team not named the New England Patriots. I am sorry, Buffalo. I take the Patriots at 13.5, and I will definitely take the Patriots to win outright. This game was not all that hard to decide. You get Tom Brady versus Derek Anderson. Yeah. And I love Sean McDermott. I think he's going to be a great coach in this league. I think it's just going to take some time. Sean McDermott versus Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. And I don't think it ever will be Sean McDermott in that category. And overall, the games of the week to watch, in my opinion, this week. If you want to see some great emotional football, Pittsburgh, of course, will be top priority. But if you want to watch smash mouth football, Ravens, Panthers. And you want to see a tight, contested game that could see some high scoring, would be Seahawks, Lions. And a game that could end up being one possession, if not field close, could be Packers, Rams, with Aaron Rodgers leading the charge. But outside of the primetime games, those are the best games to watch. Because I do think Saints Vikings will be close down to the wire. I know Patriots Bills will not even be close, and we saw what happened on Thursday night. I don't even have to bring that up. Overall, it should be a nice week. It's going to be a long day of football. I have some fantasy football things that I've been looking at. I have either to play Matt Stafford against the Seahawks or Carson Wentz against the Jaguars. I was running Stafford throughout the week until I read that 4 people were arrested for the Jaguars report. I hope that comes out tonight before the games. I have an issue of waking up early sometimes, and I will probably wake up exactly on time at 7:30 a.m. my time for that game. But I will probably not wake up before the game to fix it. So I will be riding with Stafford right now. If you bench Carson Wentz like I did and you're waiting to see the Jaguar news, stick with the other QB for now. Just stick with him for now until we know the full report. Because knowing Tom Coughlin, there will be a punishment handed out. What will that punishment be? I'm guessing a 1-game suspension and probably a fine. Do I know the players? No. Am I going to take a guess? No, because I'm not going to badmouth anybody's character. And here's something I wanted to bring up: is Coach on the hot seat? I think Doug Marrone's on the hot seat. I personally do. After what we've seen the Jaguars fall from grace, I think he's on the hot seat. Along with, and I'm kind of surprised he is, but I'm not, Mike McCarthy. I think he's on the hot seat 100% right now. Marvin Lewis could be. I don't know what goes on in Mike Brown's head. I just don't. Maybe when his contract expires, that's when I'll get a guarantee. And another one would be Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph, I didn't like the hire in the first place, and I think I've been proven right. Unfortunately for Broncos fans. Unfortunately. Of course, you don't want to see coaches fail. You don't want to see people get fired. But when you're right about a guy, you get a little smirk. Not going to lie. And the final guy would probably be Dirk Koetter. I thought he was going to be fired last year after the season, and I was surprised when he wasn't. And one of the top coach candidates, I think, to be looked at as head coach this upcoming year, Bears defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Now, he's been a good coach there for a while. He's a good defensive mind. I do expect him to get hired as a head coach soon. Now, I'm not saying that just because he has Khalil Mack now and to make them look good. That defense has been good in recent years. I actually last year had them making the playoffs. And then I realized, oh yeah, Mitch Trubisky was not as good as I thought he was, because I thought he could at least be a game manager last year. I did not expect a world beater. Well, he didn't turn over the ball. It's the best thing I can say about last year for Mitch. Overall, though, Enjoy your football Sunday today, and this is going to be a long day of games. This is on a schedule upload, so I will probably be asleep when this is up. Comment below if you liked it, and of course, like it if you liked it. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at Sporting Blizzard. And everybody have a great day of football.